Let's consider some other sports brands. So for example, Nike. Nike, the brand, is really centered a lot on technical things. It's a technical brand. So for example, this pair of sneakers here, there's a focus on zoom. Okay, the cushioning is important. The fact that there's air in the soles of the feet is important. It's also important when you're buying like hockey equipment from Nike. Is it going to perform well? Is it made out of the right carbon fiber? Are the materials going to enable me to perform at a higher caliber? Now we look at Puma. Puma repositioned their brand all around speed, which was a very strong strategic choice that helped protect the brand when they deviated from that and tried to get more into the fashion. It didn't work out so well. So look at this. We have Puma.com, forever faster. And we look down here, how do you push yourself? By setting goals. For Puma, it's to be the fastest sports brand in the world. So here, a lot of the benefit has to do with functional benefits, outcomes like speed. But when we consider Lacoste, let's just take a look at their website. Lacoste is not a technical brand. The value that the Lacoste brand has is related more to identity, perception, psychology, status, luxury. Yes, there's an element of sports that goes into it when you're doing things like playing tennis or golf, but fundamentally Lacoste is not a technical brand. So when Lacoste starts to compete with Adidas and Nike in that technical space with their sub-brand, which is Lacoste Sport, let's take a look here. It doesn't perform so well because you're competing with companies where it's like the material choice, breathability and stuff. These elements of brand perception and performance are more important. But where Lacoste excels has more to do with the psychological benefits, the non-tangible benefits. So you see, even with their sports brand, okay, here with their new releases, it's centered more around the French identity, and the design is more important than the functionality. So the takeaway I want you to have here is when you're managing your brand, you need to understand what the brand stands for, how the brand creates value. Is it actually signaling performance or functional benefits or technical benefits, or is it signaling kind of status, identity, originality, personality? And you need to take a look at in what space your brand is competing. So are you being associated with brands that perhaps are not what you want to be associated with? So Lacoste, for example, being competing with Nike, or are you competing with other brands that are actually in the psychological space that you want to participate in? The other key lesson here is that as you start to make mistakes in your brand management, you need to recognize that, set your ego aside and reposition the brand, go back to what your brand actually stands for. If you stem too far from stretching the brand, for example, in the technical space.